I'm going to share my top tips on how I ditched my debt and embraced a minimalist lifestyle, and trust me, it's easier than you think. Living a debt-free life has been a game changer for me, and I'm excited to share with you how embracing minimalism has helped me achieve it. It's a mindset shift that can transform your relationship with money, and it's more relevant today than ever before. From crippling student loans to maxed-out credit cards, debt can be overwhelming, but what if I told you there's a way to break free from the cycle? Minimalism is often misunderstood as depriving yourself of things you love, but it's actually about living intentionally and aligning your spending with your values. It's about recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not from material possessions. In this video, I'll show you how adopting a minimalist lifestyle can help you live debt-free and achieve financial freedom. So, let's dive in and explore the transformative power of minimalism. Debt is a huge source of stress and anxiety for many of us. It's like having a weight on our shoulders, always looming in the background, making it hard to enjoy the present moment. We often feel like we're stuck in a never-ending cycle of paying bills, working long hours, and sacrificing our time and energy just to make ends meet. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from this cycle and start building a life that truly reflects your values and priorities? We've been conditioned to believe that the more we have, the happier we'll be. But the truth is, this endless pursuit of material possessions is actually contributing to our debt and financial stress. We're constantly bombarded with advertisements telling us we need the latest gadgets, trending clothing, and luxury items. But the truth is, these things are not bringing us lasting happiness. In fact, they're often leaving us feeling empty, unsatisfied, and stuck in debt. Have you ever stopped to think about why you're working so hard to make money, only to spend it on things that don't truly bring you joy? We're sacrificing our time, energy, and relationships just to keep up with the Joneses. But what if I told you there's a better way? What if you could align your spending with your values and priorities, and start building a life that truly reflects who you are and what you want to achieve? The reality is, many of us are living paycheck to paycheck, barely scraping by, and feeling like we're drowning in debt. We're stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed, and we don't know how to get out of this cycle. But the truth is, there is hope. By adopting a minimalist lifestyle, you can start to break free from debt and build a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. We often think that debt is just a financial problem, but the truth is, it's also an emotional and psychological one. We're attached to our possessions, our lifestyle, and our habits, and it's hard to let go. But the truth is, holding on to these things is actually holding us back. By embracing minimalism, you can start to let go of the emotional weight of debt and start building a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. Debt can be a huge source of shame and guilt for many of us. We feel like we've failed, like we're not good enough, or like we're not capable of managing our finances. But the truth is, debt is not a reflection of our worth as human beings. It's a common problem that affects millions of people around the world. By acknowledging this and seeking help, you can start to break free from the cycle of debt and shame. So, how do we start to break free from debt and build a life that truly reflects our values and priorities? The first step is to acknowledge that debt is not just a financial problem, but also an emotional and psychological one. We need to start by addressing the underlying issues that are driving our spending habits and debt. Many of us are driven by a desire to keep up with the Joneses, to fit in, or to prove ourselves to others. But the truth is, this endless pursuit of material possessions is actually contributing to our debt and financial stress. By recognizing this and seeking help, you can start to break free from the cycle of debt and start building a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. The truth is, debt is not just a personal problem, but also a societal one. We're living in a culture that values material possessions, consumerism, and endless growth. But the truth is, this is unsustainable and it's contributing to our debt and financial stress. By recognizing this and seeking help, you can start to break free from the cycle of debt and start building a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. So, how do we start to build a life that truly reflects our values and priorities? The first step is to start by decluttering our lives. We need to start letting go of the things that no longer serve us, the things that are holding us back, and the things that are contributing to our debt and financial stress. Decluttering is not just about getting rid of physical stuff, it's also about letting go of emotional and psychological baggage. It's about recognizing that we're worthy of a life that truly reflects our values and priorities. By decluttering our lives, we can start to build a life that is more intentional, more purposeful, and more fulfilling. Intentional spending is another key principle of minimalism. It's about recognizing that every dollar we spend is a vote for the life we want to lead. By being more intentional with our spending, we can start to build a life that truly reflects our values and priorities. Prioritizing experiences over possessions is another key principle of minimalism. It's about recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not from material possessions. By prioritizing experiences over possessions, we can start to build a life that is more fulfilling, more meaningful, and more intentional. I want to share a personal story that illustrates the transformation possible through adopting a minimalist lifestyle and achieving financial freedom. For years, I was stuck in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and feeling like I was drowning in financial stress. But then I discovered minimalism, and it completely transformed my life. I started by decluttering my home, letting go of possessions that no longer served me, and recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from experiences, relationships, and personal growth. As I started to adopt a minimalist lifestyle, I noticed a significant shift in my spending habits. I was no longer driven by a desire to keep up with the Joneses or to fit in. Instead, I was focused on building a life that truly reflected my values and priorities. I started to prioritize experiences over possessions, and it completely transformed my life. I was able to pay off my debt, build an emergency fund, and start investing in my future. The transformation was not just financial, it was also emotional and psychological. I felt more confident, more empowered, and more in control of my life. I was no longer held back by debt and financial stress, and I was able to pursue my passions and dreams with more freedom and flexibility. Looking back, I realized that adopting a minimalist lifestyle was the best decision I ever made. It allowed me to break free from debt and build a life that truly reflects my values and priorities. I'm not alone. There are millions of people around the world who have adopted a minimalist lifestyle and achieved financial freedom. In conclusion, living debt-free is not just about paying off your debts, it's about adopting a mindset shift that aligns with your values and priorities. It's about recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not from material possessions. By embracing minimalism, you can start to build a life that truly reflects your values and priorities, and achieve financial freedom. So, what's the key takeaway from this video? The key takeaway is that minimalism is not just about getting rid of stuff. It's about building a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. It's about recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not from material possessions. I'd love to hear from you. Have you struggled with debt and consumerism? How has adopting a minimalist lifestyle impacted your life? Share your story in the comments below.